Absolutely, Maria. Looking forward to this All-Ireland final. Let's take a look at the two teams. Goalkeeper Amy Lee's graduation from the Cork All-Ireland winning intermediate team in 2018 to senior All-Ireland medalist and All-Star keeper in 2023 has been most impressive, and she richly deserves all the recognition that she's getting. Izzy O'Regan's versatility is so crucial as she moves from wing-back to the Cork full-back line. She's rock solid at number 3, while Maeve Murphy and Pamela Mackey are in the corners. Laura Tracy is a formidable force at centre-back and is clearly one of the best defenders in the country. Hannah Looney and Laura Hayes will wear 5 and 7. Aisling Thompson is a legend of the game at this stage, and once again partners Aoife Healy from Aghada in the middle of the field from Cork. Saoirse McCarthy, who played midfield last year for the All-Ireland champions, starts a wing forward with Fiona Keating in 11 and Cleena Healy on the other wing. The full forward line of Amy O'Connor, Katrina Mackey and Orla Callahan are a lethal combination and will be difficult to stop. Cork have plenty of talent in reserve with Maeve and Grania Callahan, Saoirse McCartan, Hayley Ryan and many others ready, waiting for action if required. Let's take a look at the Galway team. St Thomas's Sarah Healy is a top-class keeper with her puck-outs and shot-stopping ability high up on her list of talents and attributes. Galway had only one All-Star last year, and that's full-back Roisin Black. She's the Galway captain this year, but she will readily admit she has two brilliant cornerbacks in Rachel Hannafy and Dervla Higgins beside her. Anya Keane is a top-class centre-back with Anne-Marie Starr and Ciara Hickey operating on the wings. The two Neves are a wonderful centre-field partnership for Galway. Niamh Hannafy and Niamh Kilkenny are two of the best players on the field in Croke Park this afternoon. A third Niamh McPeak, leads the Galway attack with Aoife Donoghue and Alban Rabbit operating on the wings. But like Cork, it's that inside line for Galway that spells danger with a capital D. Carrie Dolan is a brilliant free taker. Former down player Niamh Mallon has been outstanding, while Ailish O'Reilly has been scoring big time in this championship. The Galway bench looks very strong with Alana Kelly, Rachel Kelly, Sabina Rabbit and Niamh Nyland, amongst many others with strong credentials to be introduced by the Galway manager. We're looking forward to this match. Match referee is Liz Dempsey, and the throw-in is at 5:15.
Thanks for that, Marty. Definitely excitement levels are building everywhere, and the players are just starting to line up for that presidential salute that will happen in just a moment. There is so much excitement and nerves. A big day for so many players. Many have been here before, but for others it is their first time, and probably a little bit of pressure on the Cork senior team after the Cork intermediates have already done the business in absolutely dramatic fashion as well, with just a 1-point victory. But there's plenty of players there who know just what it's like to win an All-Ireland title, and likewise with Galway as well. You can see so many familiar faces in the team lineups as they get ready for what is a huge moment and the place where every single player wants to be. It is All-Ireland final day, and it's what they have been working for so long. And what a midfield combination there you have. Aisling Thompson, and she of course is such an experienced player. It is time now for Michael D. Higgins and the presidential salute. We will pause for just a minute.
Táisiúnta Jonica na Neamh Uachtarán an Cumann Camogie Brian Malloy agus a Van Kayla Vivian. Anish Garman Uachtarán.
You can really feel the tension building, and I mentioned there's some young players out there who are getting their first taste of what a day like today is.
Yeah, I mean, for Cork, for me, corner forward Orla Callahan has been in tremendous form. She came on as a sub in the last few minutes of the All-Ireland final last year, but really has been setting herself up so well. 3-7 in this year's championship so far, and I just feel that she's a player that could have a really big influence on today's game.
She'll have it up. She'll have a lot to do, because Dervla Higgins has established herself as an absolutely fantastic cornerback. I think she'll pick her up, and that Rachel Hannafy will probably pick up Amy O'Connor. Dervla was on the intermediate team in 2019, and you know, she's become one of the most solid defenders Galway have at the moment. Love her style of play. She's so tigerish, bursting out of defence, and I'd love to see her today going long. Not just like, I think Galway have to deliver the ball in fast. I think they will get turned over if they constantly run at the Cork defence. And last year, when you think back to the semi-final, Ailish O'Reilly hit the ball off the post in the first half. It's fine margin, so it is, Marie, today. Like, I know Cork are coming in as favourites, but it's a very fine margin between having a great game and things going not so great.
And like Niamh Kilkenny, we haven't even mentioned, but she's back in the team this year. I think she's coming good at the right time. She's back to her best. Like, what a phenomenal player, an ambassador, you know, that she's still out there, you know, the engine of the team, and she's going to show huge leadership qualities here today. You know, she assisted so many vital scores in that semi-final, and we've spoken so much about the Cork midfield of Aoife Healy and Aisling Thompson, so Niamh is going to have a big role to play as well for Galway.
And it will be interesting to see, like, Niamh Kilkenny, I mean, her partner at midfield, Niamh Hannafy, will she stay midfield? Will they push her in on the edge of the square maybe and test Izzy Regan, you know, early on with some high balls because she has the height? I mean, there's going to be, I expect there to be some positional, tactical, like, switch-ups early on the first few minutes of the game. Maybe it might only happen temporarily. Niamh Mallon might come out to the half-forward line because, as Ursula said earlier on, she really came into the game in semi-final when she went out there. Like, there's a lot that could happen in the first few minutes, and people might even see it on camera, but we'll be able to see it and we can tell people at half time.
There was a shot of Amy Lee there as well, Anne-Marie, and when you look at what she's capable of as well and how much of an impact she has on the game, she's probably not spoken about enough, really.
Yeah, and I think her game has evolved so much. She saved a penalty in the semi-final. She brought off a brilliant save, 2 saves in the semi-final that were they weren't crucial in the end of the game, but it kept Cork, I suppose, in the first half. They were sailing through it, and her puck outs, I think, have really improved this year. She's finding players, and I just think that she's brought her game to a new level this year.
And having Sarah Healy back in the goal for Galway too, you know, she's an all-star winner, very composed and assured as well, and we know the goal threat that Cork can pose, so she's going to have a big game. And puck-outs have become so important, and winning that primary possession as we saw in the previous game.
I think as well, because Anne-Marie did mention the semi-final there against Dublin, one of the things that Germany and his management team for Cork will certainly be making sure that doesn't happen is Dublin got some goal chances like there. Now, I know they didn't come off because Amy Lee made some great saves, but they won't be happy with that. They won't be happy with leaking those chances. If you leak those chances to the likes of Carrie Dolan, Niamh Mallon, Ailish O'Reilly, you know, they could punish you.
Yeah, they could be in trouble.
We probably haven't even mentioned the bench, but like, we've seen the damage that in particular Cork's bench did in the group stages and even the semi-final. Is that going to have a huge bearing again? Because if someone's not performing, there's that competition for places in the Cork setup. Do Galway have the same in reserve? I'm not so sure. And as we've seen in the previous 2 games, it's more than a 15-player game that'll win the All-Ireland.
And Maeve Cahalane is there. She's past fit. Like, she is ready to go for Cork if she needs to come into the back line. Saoirse McCartan the same. We saw the influence she had when she came on too in the championship so far.
Anna, do I need to ask you who you're expecting to win?
Look, based on Cork's form, I think Cork are going to win.
Anne-Marie?
Huge performance, season's best, and a bit of luck calls to go Galway's way. I think Galway could pull off a shock.
Ursula, the neutral. Give us the neutral perspective.
I just think Cork's form all year, I think they're stronger this year than last year. I don't think there's going to be a 12-point gap between them today, so I think Cork will do the double intermediate senior.
Well, hopefully we'll get a good game, whatever happens. It's time now to join our commentary team of Marty Morrissey and Elaine Elward. Agus Mossman live tá Troach le Fall an Glica Moore in Gaelga le Cúna Florita agus Claire O'Connor RTE News Channel agus an RTE Player.
Go raibh míle maith agat Marie, and certainly we're looking forward to this All-Ireland final, because when they played back in 2021 it turned out to be a bit of a thriller as well. An intriguing and exciting Camogie Championship comes to a climax over the next hour when these 2 rivals who have a bit of a history between them over the last number of years meet in this All-Ireland final. Cork have already won the intermediate. Tipperary won the junior today, in case you're just tuning into us now. And of course, as we set out on the parade behind the Artane band at 5:15 throw-in, we'll know where the O'Duffy Cup will reside for the rest of the autumn and the winter of 2024. It's 28 years since Galway won their first senior All-Ireland title back in 1996, when a team managed by Tony Ward and captained by Imelda Hobbins proudly brought the O'Duffy Cup across the River Shannon for the very first time. Today, the tribesmen bid for their 5th All-Ireland title, having won their 4th and last title at the expense of the team that is marching alongside them right now, the Cork team of 2024. 3 years ago, with a humdinger of a game, a match that was laced with great skill but enveloped with huge tension as well. It's going to be no different this afternoon in Croke Park. This time Cork are the reigning All-Ireland champions and go into this final based on performances through the group stages, through the quarter-finals, and especially that awesome semi-final display against Dublin in Nolan Park in Kilkenny as hot favourites. So what's it going to be? Cork's 30th All-Ireland title or Galway's 5th? Can Galway's defence cope with the goal-scoring touches of Amy O'Connor, Katrina Mackey, Orla Cahalad? Or will the two Neves in the middle of the field for Galway, Niamh Hannafy and Niamh Kilkenny, get a grip in that vital sector for Galway and reduce the quality, the supply of quality ball to that Cork full forward line? Many questions, no answers right now, but I'm sure we'll get the answers in abundance over the next hour from these two fine teams. And just in case you're wondering, there is no extra time. This will go to a replay at the end of 60 minutes plus, and I believe the replay is fixed provisionally for next Sunday in Semple Stadium, Thurles. With me is a former Kilkenny star, Elaine Aylward. Good afternoon, Elaine. Always delighted to have you with me here in the commentary position. What are your thoughts on this game?
Look, it's a real, I suppose, humdinger we're looking forward to, but it's hard to look beyond Cork based on what's gone on for the past 6 or 10 weeks. I mean, they've been roll-out favourites across all their group games. They've beaten everyone with points to spare. They've had 10 plus points in most games, you know. Galway have had that whole stop-start season. They played 6 weeks ago down in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, and while Galway didn't go with a full team, and I'm not sure they went with any real intention of winning that particular tie, they knew they had already qualified and were looking maybe at the quarter-final route, but when Cork got into gear that day, they were just awesome, and look, they looked to have carried that on when they met Dublin in Nolan Park 2 weeks ago, and look, based on the form book, there are overwhelming favourites, and rightly so, but Galway are here on merit, and like, they didn't get the performance maybe we were expecting in that semi-final hurling-wise, but they dug out a win, and I think for Cathal Murray and his management team, that will have been as exciting as anything. They'll have been as happy with that, and if they can bring that big performance today, which they will need to bring. Look, they left Tipperary in that game for long periods. They went without scoring. If they do that today, Cork will outshoot them all over the field.
And of course, I think of Galway, a great county for GA, for teams, for sport, no matter what sport it is. But there was great joy qualifying for 3 All-Ireland finals, the men's football, the ladies' football, and the Camogie. It'd be really heartbreaking. And maybe there was a little bit of pressure then as a result of losing the 2 previous All-Ireland finals in this Galway Camogie team, or will it matter a hoot?
Look, I think they'll be focused on themselves. They'll have probably blocked out the last 2 weeks. They'll be very focused on their own camp and probably a little bit secretly happy that all the talk has been on Cork. You know, Galway's semi-final performance wasn't overly convincing, whereas Cork had a runaway victory and straight away went as favourites, if they hadn't already been coming into that game, went as favourites for the All-Ireland. Galway will have worked away quietly the last 2 weeks. They'll have their own plans, and I have no doubt Cathal Murray and his management team have had one eye on Cork for a lot of this championship, knowing that they were possibly going to meet at some knockout stage, and here they find themselves here today. So I expect something a little bit different maybe from Cathal Murray and Galway at the start. Maybe something, they're going to have to produce something different. What they've produced so far this year is not going to be enough to topple Cork today, so it's interesting to see what they are going to bring. It's
funny you said that, because I know our panel were talking to Marie, and I was meeting Niamh Rockett, the Waterford star, who's on the radio duty today, and she also thinks, like yourself, that Cathal Murray will come up with something, whatever that is.
Yeah, look, Cathal is a hugely experienced manager. He's been here before. He's won All-Irelands with Galway. He knows that the performances they've had to date won't have been good enough to beat Cork, but they've been good enough to get them back here, and now they're here and they're 60 minutes away. You have massive players in that Galway setup, you know, really experienced players. They have their own strengths, and I have no doubt that if they're to bring their biggest performance, today is the day that they're going to bring it.
Wonderful atmosphere here in Croke Park, and having enjoyed the last 2 weeks, and our Olympians, we're so proud of all of them, and certainly the focus for most of us has been on the Olympics and enjoying and savouring our Irish athletes. Meanwhile, Cork and Galway and the other Camogie teams were concentrating on getting to Croke Park. There's a moment's silence here for Maura McCloy, former Camogie player, Jerry Balahi, Wolf Tones GA Club, and we pass on our deepest sympathies to Maura McCloy's family and friends on behalf of all of us in RT Sport, and indeed everybody in the GA family that's here in Croke Park. So here now in Croke Park on All-Ireland final, Camogie Day 2024, we pause again and stand to attention for our national anthem. Huge crowd here in Croke Park. They've come from Laois and Tipperary, Cork, Kilkenny and Galway for the junior, intermediate and senior Camogie finals. There is genuinely a great buzz and excitement around this venue. And around the venue, of course, that today will see the end of the Intercounty Championships. Liz Dempsey from Kilkenny, from Thomastown, is refereeing her second All-Ireland final. Her first was 3 years ago for the Cork-Galway All-Ireland final. Well acquainted with both of these sides. Cork, by the way, won the toss. They'll play from the Hill 16 end down towards the Davin end. And we're looking forward to this game that has slight wind advantage to Cork in that first half.
Yeah, it was interesting there, a little bit of mind games maybe before we even started. Both teams in their huddles and failing to break for a long time, I suppose, maybe sizing one another up, trying to pick up who's going to go where. And as the girls in studio said, there's bound to be some changes on that Galway setup and who lines out where, and I'm sure some of the Cork players will be anxious to know as well. They'll have their own tasks for the day and who they're going to pick up.
So what's it going to be? 30th title for Cork, reigning All-Ireland champions. Can they do back-to-back? Galway going for their fifth. 1996, 2013, 2019 and 2021. Galway sending that ball up from Aoife Donoghue, cut out on this occasion by Laura Hayes. Dropping ball, knocked away by Roisin Black. Picked up and turned by Orla Cala. Comes back towards Katrina Mackey. And that's the opening score after 22 seconds of play. The All-Ireland champions are in front.
Yeah, and that started with Laura Hayes back at left half back. Niamh Mallon has gone to right half forward on her, but Laura Hayes winning that first battle there and driving that ball up the field. Aoife Donoghue has started at left half forward on the other side, picking up Hannah Looney.
Puck out from Sarah Healy. Centre heading towards the sideline, knocked over the sideline. That's going to be a Cork ball. Izzy O'Regan started her career at corner forward, went to wing back, now she's full back. Very versatile player. Knocked away by Saoirse McCarthy, picked up by Aoife Healy. To her midfield partner, Aisling Thompson. Oh, great hook. Good work by Aoife Donoghue. There was a push in the back, however. The hook was great, the push in the back, not so great.
Yeah, good intentions from Aoife Donoghue there. Had the job done with the hook, but just followed through with that little push on the back, and Aisling Thompson falling over in the free into Cork.
Saoirse McCarthy going to take this. Already won All-Irelands at minor, intermediate and senior level. Former student of Kinsale Community College. Great school down in Cork, and Saoirse puts her name on the scoreboard for the very first time.
Yeah, and wind advantage there, and Cork will have a strong breeze in that first half. We've seen it in the first two games. It has a little bit of an impact on the play, so a good long-range free from Saoirse McCarthy there.
Sarah Healy finding Niamh Mallon with a mighty puck out. Liz Dempsey, the referee, has blown her whistle. An opportunity for Carrie Dolan to calm the nerves. Difficult free, difficult angle, it's a long way out. But she has been outstanding in this championship, scoring a goal and 30 points, 23 frees. 5 of them were scored against Tipperary, and the vital one was the match winner. Heartbreak for Tipperary on that day, who honestly have a really good side. And no doubt will be encouraged to come again in 2025. Carrie Dolan lifts, strikes and raises the white flag.
Yeah, good start for Carrie Dolan on the freeze there, and they'll be vital today. She's been crucial to Galway all year, and as you look, I think Anne-Marie Starr seems to have gone centre back, picking up Fiona Keating in that Galway half back line. Alwyn Rabbit has gone back from wing forward onto Saoirse McCarthy, picking her up, so they'll be matched well for pace back there.
4 hand passes in a row. Aoife Healy laying it off to Hannah Looney. As Cork look confident with possession. Cliona Healy giving it inside. Opportunity coming for Orla Callahan, making the space, well surrounded by 4 Galway players. Make that 5 and Galway come away with it. Dropping the sliotar, however, is not the right option inside there, but they play it coolly. Gets it out for us, Niamh Kilkenny, former hurler, former Camogie Star of the Year, and getting it down towards her midfield partner, that's Niamh Hannafy. 2 Niamhs are really good players. Add in Niamh McPeak and you've got 3 great Niamhs, and they created a wonderful goal against Tipperary in the semi-final. Half blocked, Cork come away with it. Hurley left behind, laying again the hand pass to great effect. Aisling Thompson hits the deck for the 2nd time, and that again is the free going to be for the Milford Star, and rightly so.
Yeah, and I think it's just a matter of Galway trying to slow up maybe the Cork attack on the way out on that occasion. Niamh Hannafy has gone into the full forward line at the moment, picking up Maeve Murphy in there, so changes all over as we expected from Galway as they try to get their matchups right all over the field.
Laura Hayes going for distance. Dervla Higgins, one of the best cornerbacks in the game, scored a point against Waterford in the quarter-final. Shows you how imperative she is to this Galway team. Good combination. Saoirse McCarthy dropping ball, rushing Black at it, fingertips to it. Here's Dervla Higgins again, trying to scoop it up. Stepping away is Hannah Looney. Galway under pressure here. Good defending on this occasion. Aoife Donoghue from Mullya helping out her defence. Blocked, and she's there again. Gets by the initial high challenge. Hand passes away to Niamh Kilkenny, who again is making herself available. That's a good ball over towards Niamh Mallon. Scooped away, but Mallon was fouled. Laura Hayes says she didn't play a finger on her, but to be honest with you, even from up here, it looked like a free. Yeah. There you go.
That's a great crossfield ball again out of the Galway defence, and I think they're being really conscious coming out there that Laura Tracy is back in that pocket, and Niamh Kilkenny with the one previous to that just played a little bit short up the line just to avoid Laura Tracy. And if Galway are to get any attack going up front, that's what they'll need to do. They'll need to bypass Laura Tracy as best they can.
Carrie Dolan from Claren Bridge. Her aunt Therese Maher won an All-Ireland in 2013. Niece of Johnny and Vinnie Maher. 2 great players as Carrie Dolan lifts, strikes between the 45 and 65, and once again finds the target. That will give her loads of confidence because she's a confident player. Excellent free taker.
Absolutely, and she's nailed them. You know, missed a couple of vital stages in previous games, the league final this year, but nailed the one against Tipperary in the semi-final that she had to. And look, if Cork are going to foul, she's going to punish.
Dervla Higgins, great catch under pressure, manages to get it again for as Niamh Kilkenny. Galway tried to step into the Cork half of the field, scooped on by Niamh Kilkenny. Going back is Cliona Healy, looking around to see anybody in front of the Hogan stand. There is now at least. Clash of the Ash in Croke Park, always good to hear. Stepping away is Ciara Hickey from Davids Club, captain of the Galway Miners in 2022, now fully established on the senior team. Cork under a little bit of pressure now. Laura Hayes almost intercepted, almost, by Ailís O'Reilly. There was a little bit of a buzz around Croke Park. Comes over for Aisling Thompson, scooping it down into the Galway half of the field, running onto it, trying to gather it up is Amy O'Connor. Plenty of Galway defenders there. One of them happens to be Rachel Hannafy from Ormore Marie, and the referee Liz Dempsey this time has blown her whistle. I think she's going to give a throw ball here.
Yeah, and I think the first chance maybe for a little bit, the teams to take a little bit of a breath. It's been a pulsating first 7.5 minutes, and this is kind of the first real break and play that we've had.
Aisling Thompson battling with Niamh McPeak. Ball becomes available. 2 against 2 in the full forward line. Nice pick-up, nice turn, but the finish is a disappointment to Amy O'Connor. Fans might be celebrating, but umpire is adamant the ball is wide. Galway have the possession. Good work by Alwyn Rabbit. Scooping it into the centre, trying to get it away. Great work by Niamh Mallon, because that was a ball that really wasn't hers to win, but she battled it away. Here comes Laura Hayes. Laura gives it over towards Maeve Murphy from Ballynora. The Ballynora star gives it into the space. Chasing after this, it's 1 against 1 here. Gathering it is Orla Cahalane, trying to get by Dervla Higgins. Cahalane against Higgins. Still Cahalane. It was a bit of a chop down though by the Galway defender as Orla was heading towards goal. Soft free to give away, because although Dervla Higgins was beaten initially, she was still chasing after her, but Aoife Donoghue was a bit over robust.
Yeah, another kind of needless free from Aoife Donoghue from Galway, you know, in a really scoreable position. But as you said, Dervla Higgins was still tracking back. Aoife Donoghue was there. Orla Cahalane still had a lot of work to do. And, you know, Cork are penetrating that Galway full back line so far. They've dealt with it to date, but they've had to turn over and work really, really hard. And there's only so long you can hold out that full forward line if that supply of ball stays coming in.
Amy O'Connor is the 3rd highest scorer in the championship, behind Beth Carton, who's on 3 goals and 48 points. Amy is on 428, and this is her first point in this All-Ireland final. Sarah Healy goes long and goes straight down the middle, bypassing midfield. 4 Galway players are gathering the ball. Here's Ciara Hickey heading it over towards Aoife Donoghue. Race for possession with Aoife Healy. We have the Neves, we have the Aoifes here, and without a hurling, without anything to go on, there goes great determination by Niamh Hannafy. Galway have the possession. Aoife Donoghue back into the centre, runs on kindly to Eilish O'Reilly, dead straight in front of the post, dead straight over the crossbar. Good score.
Yeah, and Eilish O'Reilly is a player who could have a really big say in today's game for Galway. You know, huge work rate, well able to take her scores when the chances come, and she's had a relatively quiet championship to date. She's someone that could set this final on fire.
Sides have been level twice so far. There is a breeze, remember, favouring Cork in this first half. The pass is a little bit too strong for Hannah Looney. Picked up instead by Niamh Kilkenny. Ball straight down the middle. Nice wrist work by Niamh Mallon. Former Portaferry player, transferred to Sarsfields. Working with the Galway footballers as a nutritionist. This time it's hooked by Cork defender of Carrie Dolans, and Cork come away with it. Aisling Thompson stepping by the first challenge, laying it off to Aoife Healy, a student of environmental studies, giving it down towards Dervla Higgins, trying to scoop it up. Good work, battling hard, still with Orla Cahalane, switching from top of the right to top of the left. Good work by Roisin Black, captain of the Galway Miners that lost the All-Ireland final to Tipperary back in 2018, hoping for better success today. Lovely little hook there, and little tip rather than a hook by Katrina Mackey. Sideline ball for Galway.
Yeah, and that's a huge battle inside there. Dervla Higgins and Orla Cahalane has already developed in the first 10 or 11 minutes there. They're having a great battle, and you know, Dervla Higgins is doing enough just to spoil her so far.
Sideline cut is a good one. Izzy O'Regan under pressure, runs into a maroon and white cul-de-sac. Galway working very hard up front, putting the pressure on people like Laura Hayes. Away come Cork, 3 against 3 up front, trying to scoop it up. Katrina Mackey, beautiful stick work by the Douglas star. Difficult enough angle from there. She hit it sweetly. Great score, Katrina Mackey, her second point of the game.
Yeah, what an absolute peach of a score from the sideline. You know, couldn't fault Roisin Black there, did everything right as a defender, kept pushing her out towards the sideline on the end line, and still Mackey swings over a score like that. Had a relatively quiet semi-final, but you know, she's the type of a player to come good when you need her to.
Long took out again from Sarah Healy. There was a touch. Race for possession. Here comes Aoife Donoghue, heading towards goal on the 20-metre line. Decides to take the point. Very good score. Scored 2 goals and 6 points on the journey to this All-Ireland final. 4 times an All-Star, and you can see why. Great risk, fine score.
Yeah, super score and a super response from Galway, you know, straight from that Cork score. And as Aoife Dunhu was coming down the right wing there, Niamh Kilkenny was powering through the centre as well. So Galway, when they're moving forward, are moving in numbers.
Half block, but it's still the sliotar flies into the Galway half of the field. Gone back is Ailish O'Reilly. She's tripped. There's going to be a free for Galway just outside their own 45-metre line. Liz Dempsey just having a quiet word with Cliona Healy. I like the way she does that. She communicates to the players, and doing a good job so far. I was impressed with her in the semi-final. Not surprised that she got the final.
Yeah, Liz is a super referee. You know, she's been around a good few years and has done a lot of club games, a lot of intermediate and junior games up through the ranks. And as you said, her second senior final now, and really a referee that lets the play flow.
Anya Keane dropping this in. Goalkeeper Amy Lee from the Piershig comes out, half blocked. Cork defenders are there. There's plenty of them. There's at least 4 available, including midfielder Aisling Thompson. Over towards Hannah Looney from Killa. Cliona Healy. Bullock. Over elaboration, picked up by Niamh Kilkenny. Gets by the first challenge. Has to get by Aisling Thompson the second time. She was being fouled. It's a free for Niamh Kilkenny and a free for Galway between the 45 and 65, where Carrie Dolan scored a point from a short time ago.
Yeah, and that's a huge turnover for Galway there, because that's when Cork are at their most dangerous. You know, they start building from the back, and it had gone through the really experienced hands of Laura Tracy, Hannah Looney and Aisling Thompson before the pressure that Galway put on them forced them to turn over and forces it into a scoring opportunity for Galway, and that's what they'll want, that's what they need to do, stop Cork at source.
She's already scored twice. More or less in the same place as her last break. She certainly has the radar working this afternoon, Carrie Dolan. 3 out of 3. Galway go in front.
Yeah, and interesting, as Carrie Dolan was teeing up to take that free, a couple of the Cork forwards huddled together on the 45 there, Fiona Keaton and Saoirse McCarthy being 2 of them. They both gone to the one side for this puck out and looking to break it maybe and get onto something that they practiced.
Sideline ball is going to Galway. Anya Keane from St. Thomas's Club. She's going to have to hit it again, or cut it again.
And Galway have left Carrie Dolan in on the edge of the square on Pamela Mackey, and that's forcing Laura Tracy, I think, to sit a little bit deeper in front of her, aware of the threat that Carrie Dolan poses inside.
Batted away, picked up by Fiona Keating. Flicking it over towards Saoirse McCarthy. Wonderful player. Floating this in. Sarah Healy should deal with it capably, and she does. Aoife Dunhu. Nice pick up by Ciara Hickey. Won the Personal Cup with University of Galway earlier this season. Goes long, but the Cork defence equal to it. Good positioning by Laura Tracy. All-star back in 2017. Aisling Thompson. Cliona Healy. Cork passing the ball with great effectiveness. Hannah Looney goes long. Good defending by Galway. That should be a free out, and it is. Good work by Roisin Black, the captain. Her battle with Katrina Mackey. I know she's conceded a point already, but she really is like Evo stick to Roisin Black. She's glued to her, and this time she beat the Cork number 14.
Yeah, and that's another huge battle that's going to develop in there as the day goes on, and those, I suppose, are 2 of the lines that we're really interested to see beforehand. You know, Galway's most established full line of the year has been that full back line. They've been really tough defenders, and Cork's full forward line has been an absolute fire, shooting the lights out in the scoring stakes. So, you know, a huge say in where the O'Duffy Cup lies is going to come from whoever wins that inside battle.
All-star keeper 2019 and 2021, that's Sarah Healy. Good ball up towards Niamh Hannafy. Coming through, Ailish O'Reilly, but Cork have control of it. Laura Tracy. Hannah Looney to Cliona Healy. Getting the ball forward despite the pressure. That's a better ball for Katrina Mackey. Good defending, half blocked. Coming in is Amy O'Connor. There's a player available inside. Galway find themselves under pressure. Ball is loose over towards Orla Callahan. But the Galway keeper is there, Sarah Healy. That's the first time in this game after 18 minutes when Cork looked like they were splitting open the Galway defence. Good defending by the tribeswomen in response. Orla Callahan again. Very much on form. Getting away from her marker, Dervla Higgins. Orla Callahan sending that over the bar. She's asking a few questions of the Galway defence and indeed of Dervla Higgins. Scoring 3-7 in the championship to this point of the All-Ireland final. She's now got 3-8, first in the All-Ireland final.
Yeah, and she definitely had half an eye on goal there once she slipped Dervla Higgins, but when the chance wasn't coming off, happy to put it over the bar. But just to go back to that little pass in from Pamela Mackey on the pass, or from Trina Mackey on the passage of play before that, an absolute dinger.
Here comes Ailís O'Reilly. Under pressure, Cork defence responded well. Slither comes loose and available again. Here comes Niamh Kilkenny. There's Galway, lovely little sidestep and lovely creation of space. The intended pass was for Niamh Kilkenny, but the first ball handling unfortunately was a disappointment, and that means that it's going to be a throw ball. Niamh Mallon was a little bit unfortunate here, but Niamh Kilkenny, beautiful sidestep, great control. Ball is thrown in. Cork defence finding themselves under pressure. Aisling Thompson giving it back to her keeper, Amy Lee. Amy switches the play over in front of the Cusick. Chasing after this is Anne-Marie Starr. Return to the panel after a 2-year absence. Gives it back to Anya Keane. Starr is available. Won All-Irelands in 2013, 19 and 21. Experience with a capital E, Anne-Marie Starr. Galway under pressure, putting the pressure on Cork, and Niamh Mallon has scored her first point in the All-Ireland final. My word, she had to work for it, but she is a wonderful hurler. Just watch, great marking here by Laura Hayes, giving her no chance, lost the hurley, and still was almost diving on the slither on the hurling.
Yeah, another huge battle that's developing down at that end of the field, and a super take there from Niamh Mallon. You know, carried a little bit of a wrist injury into the game, but looks to be showing no ill effects of it on that occasion.
Laura Tracy. As Cork continue to work the ball out from defence. Aisling Thompson looks around. Amy O'Connor is the target, but if it's Niamh Mallon or Katrina Mackey, that'll do fine too. Ball is kicked away, and that should be a Galway ball. Heading towards the 21st minute. Galway's battling skills admirable, considering that the form would suggest that Cork would win this All-Ireland. They're going to have to work for it, clearly. Roisin Black. Saoirse McCarthy. Again, half block, but the Galway defence are there. Good work by Anya Keane. Ball into the space. Well won by Izzy O'Regan. Hannah Looney. Looking around to see who's available. Creates the opportunity for Cliona Healy. Goes for the return pass. Still Cliona Healy. The effort to hook her failed. And Cliona Healy, who scored 12 points for the number 12, has now got her 13 points in the championship. Really good score.
Yeah, and super work again there by Izzy O'Regan at the back. Did really, really well to dispossess Ailís O'Reilly, and Izzy O'Regan is one of those players that can play, as you said, anywhere from the full back line right up to the full forward line. She's equally as comfortable on that half back line on Ailís O'Reilly.
Level for the 5th time. Niamh Mallon puts her hand up and says, that wasn't one of my best decisions. Ball comes out for us, Hannah Looney. Hand passes away towards Aoife Healy. Great pressure again from Galway. No foul. Liz Dempsey centimetres away. Counter-attack is on. Opportunity for Ailís O'Reilly. Hits the slither on the boss of the hurley once, then aims at the target and splits the post. A very impressive play. Ailís O'Reilly.
Yeah, it's just how fast the game is moving. You know, Aoife O'Reilly was beating to that ball on left half forward there, just the play beforehand, and then she pops up on the right hand side in a bit of space and takes her opportunity. As I said, she's a player who can score from out the field as well and has the capability of turning this game.
Galway by no means intimidated by their illustrious opponents, Elaine. They're giving it everything, aren't they?
Absolutely, and look, that's what you're forced to do, I suppose, when you are the underdog. Cork came here last year in the All-Ireland semi-final, or came to Nolan Park last year in the All-Ireland semi-final against Galway, and they brought that work rate and intensity because they'd been beaten in the last 8 meetings between the sides, and now it's Galway's turn. Here's
Saoirse McCarthy heading towards the 20-metre line. She sends this inside the post and over the bar. Her second point of the game. She is quite simply a class act. Brilliant play by the number 10 from Courtesy Rovers.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen her marauding down the left wing like that and getting loose, and she's well able to take a score on the run, and Alban Rabbit's been really, really close to her, but when she got the chance that time, got away from her, well able to take the score.
2 against 1 here, about to be 2 against 2. Aisling Thompson trying to scoop the ball away. Her physical presence so vital. Eventually she's fouled, and that is a free for Aisling Thompson and for Cork. Aoife Donoghue putting in the hard work, but fouling just a little bit too much.
Yeah, look, and I suppose, look, if you're going to give them away, that's where to give them away back at that half-back line to try and slow up Cork momentum, but she needs to be careful. She has had a couple of frees blown against her, and if Liz is going to be looking at the book at half-time, she's going to note that there's been a couple of ticks there and possibly a yellow card coming, who's not somewhere Aoife Donoghue wants to find herself.
Laura Tracy goes for the crossfield ball. Niamh Mallon intercepts. And Cork look a little bit exposed here. Ailís O'Reilly gets the call from Niamh Kilkenny. O'Reilly is still available. The return pass. In comes Izzy Regan, but the challenge was high, and the referee is going to have a word with Izzy O'Regan, and also going to have an opportunity, I'm pretty sure, to give a free to Galway. High challenge, says Liz Dempsey, no question. But just for a moment, Cork were exposed.
Yeah, and I suppose that's where they have that, you know, the chance, where Galway have the chance to expose him. Izzy O'Regan had made a run forward to get on the end of Laura Tracy's free. He was intercepted by Niamh Mallon, and that had left Ailís O'Reilly in a little bit of space at the back. And look, she had a lot of work to do. She cut back inside, and Izzy O'Regan did really, really well to get back to her, but at the expense of a free, I suppose. And no doubt about it, it was a high challenge, and, you know, got her yellow card for it.
No question about the free. Challenge, an illegal one on Ailís O'Reilly. Meanwhile, the free is taken by Carrie Dolan, and she gets her 4th point of the game. 4 out of 4 for the free taker. Made her debut against Clare back in 2018. Galway back in front on the minimum of margins. Long ball. Very long ball. Jersey pull on Katrina Mackey. And that is sent back to Fiona Keating, and she gets her first point in the All-Ireland final. Great response by Cork. They're level for the 7th time in this All-Ireland final.
Yeah, and we've seen it time and time again. You know, Cork responding to a really good Galway score on that occasion. Galway have responded to the Cork ones equally. You know, the quick puck out really aids that, and Amy Lee going short to Laura Tracy on that occasion, getting it back and then able to get the distance to hit that full forward line and to get the score.
Good hands, great catch, Niamh Hannafy heading towards goal. 2 Cork defenders around her. She's looking for a little bit of support. Niamh Hannafy gives the hand pass, and that is a challenge that will definitely give her free, as Laura Tracy came thundering in on Carrie Dolan. And an opportunity for Galway to go back in front again from this free. No question about the foul here.
No, I think Laura Tracy will be finding her name beside Izzy O'Regan's in Liz Dempsey's notebook before too long there on that occasion. But super take from Niamh Hannafy, did really, really well to try and get in on goal, just couldn't quite get the shot away. And fairness to Carrie Dolan, she shot out like a bullet and got on the end of the pass, and as soon as she turned, I think Laura Tracy was aware of the danger and cut it out.
Plenty to enjoy, plenty to talk about in this All-Ireland final. 8 points each, 7 times level. There's nothing between these two teams And based on what I saw in Nolan Park, Galway have certainly stepped up a gear.
Absolutely, but there was no doubt about that they were. Galway were never going to get to an All-Ireland final and lie down to Cork. And as I said, look, it's hard in Cork the last 2 weeks, I'm sure, to avoid all the talk about their winning margins, how strong they've been, how much they've scored and all the rest of it. And that will only have added fuel to the fire of the Galway bellies. You know, they'll have come here today with a free shot to nothing in a lot of people's eyes, and they were going to go down fighting if they were going to go down, and they're not giving Cork an inch.
Full-back, centre-back on this Cork team are now on yellow cards. Izzy O'Regan and Laura Tracy. Carrie Dolan, this is the simplest of all the frees she's taken. 5 out of 5. And it puts Galway in front by 9 points to 8.
Yeah, and if you're Galway now at half-time, you're looking at running at the heart of that Cork defence if you have a full-back, although Izzy O'Regan is further out the field, but certainly if Laura Tracy is on a yellow card, she's one that they'll target now, I'm sure, for the second half.
Anya Keane to Anne-Marie Starr. Strong physical challenges. Ball goes long in towards the corner. Laura Tracy going across. She's plenty of options available. Aoife Healy is the preferred choice. Sheena Healy, no relation, comes away with it, kicking it forward. Ciara Hickey half blocking it. Great defending again by Galway. They really are sticking into Cork, aren't they? Sideline ball, says the linesman, and it's going to the west.
Yeah, massive turnover again, and Cathal Murray on the sideline there encouraging his players all the way. Super work from Ciara Hickey to work back, Rachel Hannafy, and they're the big turnovers, I suppose. They're the kind of balls that Cork thrive on, getting the overlap, getting the run on you, and the more times Galway can turn them over, the greater the confidence they'll gain from it.
Dervla Higgins is her club hurling with Athlone Ryan, or football actually with Kilmehel and Clare. Just trying to scoop it up. Niamh McPeak gets the clearance in despite the half block. A race for possession with about 7 seconds to go in this first half. Charging forward, perhaps, Laura Hayes gets it back towards Izzy O'Regan. 2 minutes of additional time going to be added on. Great work by Hannah Looney. Solid at right half back, Fiona Keating. Great catch, Amy O'Connor. Heading towards goal, taken down, and that's going to be a free. As Dervla Higgins came in to challenge illegally. There's a lesson here for Cork as well, because when they run at the Galway defence, questions are being asked and fouls are conceded rather easily.
Yeah, and Cork turned that over really, really quickly, and I think, you know, if Galway are slowing them up out the field and quick ball into that full forward line, Amy O'Connor showed what she's capable of that on that occasion, you know, got away from the girls and forced the foul out of Dervla Higgins in that full back line. They knew what was coming if Amy had gotten around either of the two of them.
So Amy O'Connor getting some attention. This is Cathal Murray from the Sarsfields Club. His opposite number is Ger Manley, who was the selector last year with Matthew Toomey, now the manager. Speaking to the voice in the crowd, the aerial view, as Amy O'Connor from St. Vincent's stands over the sliotar to level the match for the 8th time as we head towards the break. There's only about 30 seconds to go. Nothing between these two teams in the opening half an hour. Both have their opportunities, both have scored some great points. Trying to get away from the challenge is Niamh Hannafy to Niamh McPeak. Heading down the wing, good work, great work by the Cork defence. 8 on 8 is Aisling Thompson and Niamh Hannafy. Saoirse McCarthy, having scored a point, is back there helping out her defence. Easily picked up by Anya Keane. All the time in the world to spray it across over towards Ciara Hickey. It worked out all right. Good work by Aoife Donoghue, and lovely stick work, getting it right onto the top of the net. Amy Lee could have only wavered it. It's Aoife Donoghue's second point of the game, and it will put Galway in front of the break by just 1. She steadied herself here, great wrist work, and shot a beautiful point.
Yeah, and it came from a rare mistake from that Cork defence coming out, a loose ball up to Anya Keane, and she got it in loads of space. It allowed her to switch the play, and Aoife Dunho did really, really well on it. Some massive individual battles all over the field, not just on the camera, but off camera as well. Huge, huge individual battles, and look, I think Galway have worked really, really hard, probably deserving of that 1 point lead at half-time, but it did come down to that mistake from Cork in defence on that occasion, and that's probably what we're looking at going to swing this All-Ireland, maybe a mistake or a missed pass or a misplaced ball by someone out there. It's hugely, hugely entertaining.
It really is, Elaine, a thoroughly enjoyable All-Ireland Senior Camogie final. 8 times level in this first half. We have a second half to really look forward to. Just 1 point between them at the break. It's Cork 9 points, Galway in front on 10. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Dimplix Camogie All-Ireland Championships, where energy meets inspiration.
Valentia Island, County Kerry, ground zero for one of the most ambitious scientific endeavours of the Victorian age.
This is the moonshot of its time.
The story of the pioneering scientists who connected Europe and America by an underwater cable.
The world is besotted by this.
Because speed is of great importance.
The battle for control of the global information superhighway had begun.
The cable that changed the world. Monday at 9:35 on RTE1 and RTE Player.
Jonas! Now, we learnt a lot of great stuff at school, didn't we?
The difference between stalactites and stalagmites, that molten rock is called magma,
and even the life cycle of a toad.
But wouldn't it be great if we were also taught some of the more important financial skills that we really need to know?
That's why over 500,000 primary and secondary school students have taken part in Bank of Ireland's Youth Financial Literacy Programme.
Because your financial well-being is our priority.
That looked great.
I see you, okay, do your dance, do your thing. I see you, okay, let me see you, Cherry Hill, yeah, now take it back, let me see you rock off, yeah. Shake off, let me see you rock off, yeah.
Cherry Hill, sidekick, SpongeBob, sexy walk, heel toe, footwork, crazy leg rock.
Let me see you kick right, now kick left, now step forward, now step back. Lucozade, bring the energy.
We all need somewhere. We who live for the day that might never come. We who go back again and again to where we come from. We who won't stop until we're unstoppable. We who will never say no to getting stuck in. We who pass on every tradition and skill that was passed on to us. We who love the days that come forever. Him, her, them, us. We all need somewhere that belongs to us all. GAA, where we all belong.
Rebel in the comfort of a home. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
The Dimplix Camogie All-Ireland Championships, where energy meets inspiration.
Well, it's half-time here in Croke Park in the All-Ireland Senior Championship Final, and it's Cork 9 points, Galway 10 points. It's been everything we'd hoped for and more, and we're looking at that Cork full forward line for that last 30 minutes. We know what they're capable of, but do you think they're giving enough?
Yeah, I definitely think anytime the ball goes in long, direct, into the space, Cork are reaping the rewards. They've got really fast, pacey forwards, but often it's, they're not using the ball to their best in terms of actually it's going in too high at times. But anytime we've seen when Cork actually get the ball in the space, they're really good to run down the channels. We see a long, direct ball in here. in the dying minutes of the game, the first 30 seconds, it's Orla Callahan we spoke about before the match, lays the ball off to Katrina Mackey and over the bar, sets Cork up straight away. You'll see here again another ball just low into the space. Orla Callahan comes onto the ball, and what I love here is even though she's a young player, she goes to take on Dervla Higgins. She tries to get around her, and again she's ultimately fouled, and Cork win a free. And the next piece you'll see like a long ball into the space. Look at all the space that Cork have done. What they're doing is this bunch and break. So they're in the middle and they're moving out into space. Trina Mackey had it all to do here. She's come into this All-Ireland final with 3-11 from play. What a score from the sideline under pressure. It's absolutely brilliant. And the last thing here, you'll see Aisling Thompson looks up, ball across into the space again. Orla Callahan wins her own ball, and then she turns Dervla Higgins, who is a great player, and puts the ball over the bar. Like, Orla Callahan has passed, won a free and got her own score. Katrina Mackey's chipped in with 2 points. Amy O'Connor's won valuable possession inside in that forward line. They have scored 10 goals between them so far in this championship. I want to see that ball going in a lot more low into the space for Cork, and I do think they could trouble that full back line for Galway and get goals. I don't think they're doing enough in terms of outfield, getting the ball into them fast enough. When they get the ball in fast, Cork seem to be causing problems.
Yeah, because we know how much of a threat they have in there. But Anne-Marie, in a way, Galway just aren't letting them do that because they are fighting for every single ball out there. They're bringing that intensity and they're turning over the ball when the opportunity comes as well.
Yeah, and they've just come with a serious aggression and a brilliant intensity, and they're working so hard all over the pitch. Now, they're exerting a huge amount of energy and it's very warm out there. So you just wonder, will they be able to keep it up for 60 minutes? Here you see just the pressure coming on. Niamh Kilkenny has been absolutely immense in the middle of the field. Winning the ball here, turn it over, and she eventually wins her own free. Carrie Dolan has nailed 5 frees. And, I think they're just working so hard. Again, Niamh Kilkenny involved here. Anne-Marie Starr gets up, lays a little ball out to Ailish O'Reilly. And Ailish O'Reilly has scored 2 points from play. She's won a free or two as well. She's been quite dangerous any time she's got on the ball. And I think Galway are just not here to lie down today. They know that there's a huge amount at stake and they have come with their fighting spirit. There's a crossfield ball trying to get Cork on the move inside. Malin wins it, lets a little ball upfield again to Ailish O'Reilly. Ailish O'Reilly takes off, and Niamh Kilkenny coming off her shoulder again, and that ended up in being a score for Galway. And just here, right before the final whistle, brilliant block down by Ciara Hickey. 3 Galway players coming in here on top of Amy O'Connor and puts her out over the sideline. Galway are hitting hard. They're getting in there with brilliant aggression, exactly what I thought Cathal Murray was going to tell them, to go toe-to-toe. The only thing they have to be careful of is the Laura Tracy sitting back, and I know that Ursula's going to talk about that.
Ursula, we were talking about Laura Tracy for the days leading into this game because we didn't know what Galway were going to do with her, but they seem to have found a way at times to be able to bypass her and maybe limit the impact that she has.
Yeah, we can see it's a bit of a mixed bag at the moment for Galway. When it's good, it's really good, and then when Laura's so good at reading the game and has herself in the right position, and you give her that time and space, she'll launch so many attacks for Cork. Well, we see Laura sitting back in the pocket. Galway don't really know what to do with. They've no options, and Laura clears the line, lays it off to Aisling Thompson, who's having an immense game. Now, this is how Galway are finding a way around it. Aoife Donoghue is one of the most experienced players on the Galway team. Intelligent ball across to Ailish O'Reilly, who's having a fantastic game, pops the ball over the bar. So they're spreading it out wide. Laura can't have any influence on that. Again, we see Ciara Hickey looking up. This time, look again, Laura Tracy sitting in the pocket. She's aware of the danger in front, and she lays it out to who else? Aisling Thompson again, and she's all the time in the world to look up and deliver the ball down the field. So it's good, as I said, when they're spreading out to the wings. Again, here's a good example of Galway. Their use of possession, the use of balls. Cross-field ball again. Laura Tracy can't have any influence on this. Ciara Hickey gets the flick in, and Aoife Donoghue, has the time, has the composure, and strikes a brilliant ball over the bar. So if Galway can do more of that by keeping it wide, then it eliminates the influence that Laura can have on the game.
Izzy O'Regan and Laura Tracy now on 2 yellows. I know Dervla Higgins on a yellow too. Cathal Murray will be telling his players, you run at them. It's 30 minutes, and there's a lot of heavy hitting going on, so he will be telling them to go at them.
Yeah, he has the experience. He knows exactly what he needs to do for that second half, and hopefully we'll have a great one. We've had a super first half so far. Stay with us though, that's coming up after these.
Glendimplex Camogie All-Ireland Championships, where energy meets inspiration.
Sharing in our victories, our clashes, and our triumphs is more important than ever. Your sports, your passion, powered by you. When you buy your TV licence, you're buying more than a TV licence. Get yours now at tvlicence.ie or any post office. Thank you.
At the Irish Independent, we don't just report the news. We tell the stories written all over Ireland. After all, each struggle, triumph, high and low, leaves a mark that lasts. We live and breathe the stories, written all over Ireland. Irish Independent.
A helping hand. And to help you be eco-friendly, AXA even insures your EV wall charger.
Calling all Big Mac fans, the Double Big Mac is back, only until the 3rd of September. Don't miss it.
This is how we make time stand still. We believe that every feed is a gift. That's why we've dedicated over 50 years to breast milk research and created Aptamil follow-on milk, with our unique blend of immunonutrients and 50% more gosphos than any other brand. Aptamil, your life, our science.
This is the parents' group chat messages before the school tour. It's not chill. This is a chill renewal email. They've already compared 14 insurers and found you the best deal. It's insurance, and it's chill.
The Glendimplex Camogie All-Ireland Championships, where energy meets inspiration.
Join Damien tonight at 11 o'clock here on RTE2 for reaction and highlights from all of today's action in Croke Park. Before that, we've the closing ceremony of a very memorable Olympic Games in Paris at 7:55 on RTE2. The UEFA Super Cup between Real Madrid and Atalanta is on Wednesday then on RTE2 at 7:30. We'll also have the Dublin Horse Show coverage, which begins on Friday on RTE2 at 1:45. Well, there is a huge crowd here in Croke Park. Well, pretty big anyway, 27,811, and they are watching the Tipperary Jubilee team, a team that made history playing the first 15-a-side All-Ireland final and racking up a plethora of All-Ireland finals after that, and leaving the mark on a couple of the people in studio here as well. Ursula Jacob made her debut against this Tipperary team in 2000 at 14 years of age inside the goal, and was reminded recently that it wasn't 3 goals that you let in, Ursula, it was 4.
You can see why I ended up at the other side of the pitch when you had the likes of Deirdre Hughes and Claire Grogan and them, but they were an unbelievable team. Like some of the best players you'll ever see, Una Dwyer, Ciara Gaynor, Sinead Nealon, like they were my heroes when I was growing up. I didn't fancy too much when they were coming in and scoring 4 goals on me, but phenomenal team.
Anna, you made your debut against them as well?
2004, yeah. So some of the players were still there, but I remember Mark and Una Dwyer, they put me inside full forward. It was the first and last time I played full forward for the Cork senior team. But they're just immense. Like, I mean, even now, 25 years on, those players would still stand up against any of the current players.
Okay, well, they definitely made their mark, that's for sure. Let's hope we have a great second half to come. We're going to find out now. Let's go back to Elena and Marty.
Thank you very much, Marie. We're looking forward to this second half because we really had a great opening 32 minutes with the sides level 8 times and just Galway in front by the minimum of margins, 10 points to 9. As Marie announced, 27,811 is the official attendance here. And Liz Dempsey, the referee from Thomastown and Kilkenny, who in my humble opinion is doing a fine job, is waiting to make sure that everybody is off the pitch before she throws the ball in for the second half. Telling the players in the half back line, half forward line to step back, and away we go. So away we go. Stalemate in the middle of the field. There's also a free.
Yeah, and Niamh Mallon now is on Izzy O'Regan inside in that Galway attack. Aoife Dunn started on Laura Tracy, but whether she'll stay there or not will remain to be seen.
Ball is dropping in, and Cork players happy to see that one going wide. First wide of the match, by the way, for Galway. We only had one wide in the first half, and that was for Cork. That gives you an indication statistically how close this is and how great the shooting has been. Ball comes down towards Orla Cahalane, causing a few problems for Dervla Higgins in the first half. She continues doing the same in the second half, and that is over the bar for her second point. Very impressive play by the corner forward from the St. Finbarr's club. There's Ger Manley, now back in amongst the subs. Liam Cronin, I think, was the shot we saw earlier. Just to clarify. 10 points each in Croke Park. Ball comes down towards Laura Hayes. Over towards Cliona Healy. Orla Cahalane is inside, Fiona Keating. Nice ball for us, Katrina Mackey, head down, looking for a little bit of support outside. It arrives in the shape and form of Aisling Thompson, and that is over the bar. The All-Ireland champions have started brightly in the second half. Two very good scores from a point down at the break. Within a minute and 45 seconds, they've reversed that and they're now a point in front.
Yeah, and they've done what the girls spoke about in the studio at half-time. The ball has been going in a lot quicker, and Aisling Thompson with the support play for Mackey there when she couldn't get around Roisin Black. The support run came from deep and Galway just hadn't tracked it back.
Looks like a foul on the Galway player by Izzy O'Regan, who slowly gets to her feet. Galway were protesting, but not with any great passion. Ball comes back for Azonia Keane. In my opinion, the wind has picked up in its velocity at the start of this second half. Certainly a little bit cooler on the 7th floor as Niamh Mallon goes in and hits this in. The umpires consult, and they're going to go to Hawkeye for the first time in this All-Ireland final. 2.5 minutes into the second half. Former Portaferry player, now with Sarsfields in Dublin. Lost his intermediate semi-final indeed for Portaferry against Salthill Knocknacarry. So anyway, is this a thaw or is it a kneel? And that looks like a kneel. It is. Just outside the post.
And Galway will be disappointed, but that was a lovely take by Niamh Mallon. Took it lovely and shot on the spin, but you know, they just failed to answer. I suppose Cork's 2 quick points there, and you know, you don't want to let Cork get too far ahead.
Anne-Marie Starr gets a touch to it, picked up by Aoife Healy. Boost off the slither with the possession. Nicely picked up again by Orla Cahalane. Aisling Thompson called for it. Between the 45 and 65, looking around. Such composure. Makes a bit of space for herself. Sprays it over towards Laura Hayes. Couldn't keep it in. Sideline ball to Galway.
Yeah, you can see Cork trying to start going that little bit quicker with the ball, a little more direct in. Aisling Thompson with that long wide ball, and Laura Hayes having made the run up the field there, just failed to get onto it on that occasion, and a let off for Galway. But definitely Orla Cahalane has moved out a little bit. She's pulled Dervla Higgins with her, but she's creating loads of space in there.
Carl Murray must be pleased with his team's first half performance, but they need to find their rhythm again. Nicely stepping away as Niamh Kilkenny hooked as she was going through by her marker Aoife Healy. Here's Niamh Kilkenny again. Gives the hand pass. Not a great one. Hospital pass, I think we call it. And Niamh Mallon is fouled. And fouls the possession. Free is given to Cork.
Yeah, and Laura Hayes looking to get started quickly again. I think Aoife Dunn standing in her way maybe a little bit, but now it's Cork at the back there, I suppose, swarming Niamh Mallon on that occasion and forcing the turnover.
Laura Hayes told to go back to her own 45-metre line. All-Star 2021. Dervla Higgins. Good work again by Orla Cahalane. Helping out her corner back is Niamh McPeak. Down towards Niamh Mallon. Lovely stick work. Putting the slither on the boss of the hurley and sending this in from a difficult angle, but the ball is going to be signalled wide for Galway's third wide of the game. Puck out again is quickly taken. Elaine, you're right. I think Cork have tried to speed up the game considerably. Aisling Thompson had the vision to see that Hannah Looney was being unmarked momentarily. Gets away from the challenge being provided. Back again for Azifa Healy. Again, Galway put in the hard work. Aisling Thompson couldn't be stopped, couldn't be blocked. A race for possession. It's a good ball, in fact. Nicely running onto it is Amy O'Connor, stepping inside the challenge. Amy is heading towards goal. Inside the large, there's an opportunity for goal here. Surely it has to be. It's rolled over the net, and it's in the back of the net as the Galway defence were exposed. Ultimately, it was Katrina Mackey that got the vital touch as Amy O'Connor created the opportunity for the All-Ireland champions.
Yeah, and you just felt that it was coming since half-time. As you said, Cork had picked everything up. The pace had picked up. That quick puck out came from Amy Lee after Niamh Mallon's miss. You know, they turned it over really, really quick, got the ball up the field, and when Amy O'Connor got half a chance to get inside her marker, knew she could draw the player and create the overlap, and who better to be on the end of it than inside only Katrina Mackey. And how many times has she done that for Cork over the years?
Now, is that the major and significant game changer? Considering they've been level 9 times in this match, there is now a wide gap of 4 points as Katrina Mackey, who scored 3 goals and 19 points in the journey to the All-Ireland final, has now got a goal and 2 points. 1-2 without reply at the start of the second period from the All-Ireland champions. Can Galway respond? They've shown great character. Niamh Mallon gets the ball out. Won back superbly by Anne-Marie Starr. It's a real test of character. Aisling Thompson battling with Niamh Mallon. And the referee has blown her whistle, giving a free to Cork.
Yeah, blew Anne-Marie Starr on that occasion for a throw ball, and again it was just the pressure that Cork got on her, got bodies around her. She had no option but to get it off as quick as she could, and it ended up in a throw and a free, which Laura Hayes wants to get started quickly again.
Orla Callahan, great wrist work, great control. Fiona Keating back in turn for Saoirse McCarthy. She's quite a superb player. She really is. 3 points for Saoirse McCarthy. Corsie Rovers down Ballinspittle Way in the county of Cork.
Yeah, and that famous third quarter kick I think might be coming from Cork now. They've certainly come out a second team in the second half, and they're looking to burn Galway off if they can at all. And you know, Saoirse McCarthy popping up with that score, loads of energy buzzing around there, and I think Cork sense now that it might be here for them if they want to kick on.
Good work by Aoife Donoghue. Cork defence under a little bit of pressure. Comes out for Alwyn Preslina Healy. First touch by Amy O'Connor is a good one. Twisting and turning. The referee claiming that Rachel Hannafy was fouling. I think Rachel might claim that her hurley was being held. The old trick of under the arm. Katrina Mackey obviously picked up a knock and all of that. As Cork introduced the substitutes momentarily, at least, not permanently. That's Saoirse McCarthy is coming on. Like Niamh Mallon, is a down inter-county player who's transferred to St. Finbarr's in Cork and played a vital role. Indeed, followers of the Gaelic football will know that her dad, Greg, won an All-Ireland with Down in 1994, but Saoirse certainly has huge talent and will be a huge addition to this Cork attack. Player that's going off is Katrina Mackey.
Yeah, looks to have picked up maybe a dead leg or perhaps a little bit of a hamstring injury, but what a sub to bring on. And Saoirse McCarthy, you know, came on in that semi-final win over Dublin and scored an absolute rocket of a goal, and she's a player who has been on and off the team the past couple of years, I suppose, since moving to Cork, and will really want to make a mark when she's in. She's gone in straight in onto the edge of the square, and it's Anya Keane is picking her up in there at the minute.
Katrina Mackey, who made her debut against on the Cork panel, believe it or not, 13 years ago, has given great service to her club Douglas and indeed to her county as well. Her twin sister is Pamela, of course, who's playing corner back. Meanwhile, Amy O'Connor is settling herself to have the free and put this between the post and over the bar. It's the biggest gap in this All-Ireland final since the game started at 5:15 this afternoon. Cork 113, Galway 10 points. Is there a kick in this Galway side? Can they respond? They were really top class in the first half. But they have hit that third quarter, as Elaine said a moment ago, and Cork have come out playing the game at a faster pace, taking the puck out quicker, running at the Galway defence. Taking too many steps, however, on this occasion is Hannah Looney, and that's going to be a free for Galway.
Yeah, and that's the break that Galway need. Maybe they need to regroup a little bit now. You know, they've been outscored since half-time. Cork, as you said, have put the foot on the gas and they've made a count on the scoreboard. Galway expended a lot of energy in that first half with turnovers and stuff, and still they only found themselves at 1 point ahead at half-time. So, you know, they really need to get on the scoreboard now and start to clip on a couple of points and just keep within Cork's grasp.
Here's Carrie Dolan getting her first run at the Cork defence and scoring her first point from play. It's her 6th overall. Excellent play.
Yeah, and again, look, Cork, I suppose, leaving Laura Tracy free in the half-back line, and look, she looked for it on that occasion from Amy Lee. It didn't come off, but Galway just stepping off the Cork players momentarily here and giving them half a chance to build again.
Good work by Aoife Donoghue. Fast ball in for Niamh Kilkenny. Kilkenny floats this in, but floats it to the wrong side of the post. Referee, however, had blown her whistle. Having a word there with Aisling Thompson. Yellow card shown to the Milford Star.
Yeah, and good work again from Niamh Kilkenny and Aoife Donoghue there to turn over that Cork puck, you know, and just put a little bit of pressure on. I suppose that's the experience that they bring, and you want that kind of experience on the field at a time like this when you need it. It's Galway just to get back into the game.
Carrie Dolan just inside the Cork 45-metre line. White flag raised.
And the free again there from Aisling Thompson. Oh, it was for a throw of the hurl. It was, I hadn't seen it on the first occasion, but a throw of the hurl from Aisling Thompson there. So lucky maybe to get away with the yellow.
Pamela Mackey. Dervla Higgins. Going long. 3 Cork defenders there. Gets it out for Aisling Thompson. Aoife Healy. 2 against 2. Up front from Cork and Galway perspective. Nice turn by Saoirse McCartan. Needs to lay it off, find a colleague. She does in Fiona Keating. Knocked away by Anne-Marie Starr. Tina Healy rolling it back. And the ultimate decision at the end of all of that sequence of play as the ball is wide. The referee, however, had blown her whistle.
I think the linesman might be going to draw our attention to Alwyn Rabbit and Saoirse McCarthy, who are having one of those massive duels on and off the ball, as I spoke about just before half-time there. They came together just under the Hogan stand here, and I think it's Alwyn Rabbit is going to find herself in the referee's book.
Alwyn Rabbit, daughter of former Galway star Joe Rabbit, getting a yellow card. She won her Person Cup at NUIG in All-Ireland Intermediate 2 years ago. Fine player. Puck out from Sarah Healy. Knocked away on this occasion. Picked up by Cliona Healy. Intercepting is Dervla Higgins. Ball is dropped and away comes Galway now. Niamh Kilkenny needing to go back the second time to gather it. Lays it off to Niamh Hannafy. Galway work the ball out intelligently. Gets by the initial challenge. Sends it down the wing. Good play Galway. Ciara Hickey looking at the goal post, confident she can put it between the posts. Great score. Scoring 2 points on the journey to Croke Park. This is her first in the All-Ireland final. Adding substantially to the Galway attack.
Yeah, and it's a huge score. It's one Galway really needed, and I suppose that's the way they're going to have to work the ball up again. Niamh Mallon has gone into the edge of the square. She's been picked up by Mackey, but Laura Tracy is there as the +1, so any ball that goes in is going to be, she's going to be up against it.
Race for possession. Dervla Higgins gets there first. Under severe pressure from Saoirse McCartan. Referee blowing her whistle again. She's going to give a throw ball here, just outside the Galway 20-metre line.
And Dervla Higgins probably could have had a free out on that occasion. You know, ferocious tackling by Saoirse McCartan there on that, and you know, could have given away the free, but Liz, as she is letting the play go, and we've a hot ball now.
Well, Cork's a goal and 2 points without reply. Galway now have scored 3 points without reply. Indication of their character. Aisling Thompson. The hook was effective enough, and Sarah Healy goes long. A race for Niamh Mallon. Gets there ahead of Pamela Mackey. Still Niamh Mallon. Pamela Mackey in pursuit. Needs a bit of support, Niamh Mallon here. From a Galway perspective, it rolls out. Chance here for Aoife Donoghue. Bearing down on goal. Still Aoife Donoghue. Getting it across over towards Carrie Dolan. Survives the first challenge, and the referee has given a free out.
Huge call there from Liz Dempsey. Galway have had advantage on a couple of occasions there. Niamh Mallon initially on the first break from Pamela Mackey didn't call it back. Again, Aoife Donoghue on the advantage didn't call it back, and then Carrie Dolan looked to have been taken down, and it's a free out.
Galway supporters verbalising their opinions right now. Not happy at all with this decision. As Cork, meanwhile, going to introduce a substitute. Ciara O'Sullivan is coming on, and the player that's making way is going to be Cliona Healy.
And we're actually gone back now for the original free, it looks like, where the linesman drew the attention of Liz Dempsey too, but we've gone back for a free for Carrie Dolan from what looked like the original foul on Niamh Mallon.
So Carrie Dolan going to take this to reduce Cork's lead to 2. Umpire is going to raise the white flag. But free taking has been virtually impeccable.
Yeah, bizarre couple of minutes there, and now Aisling Thompson seems to be down around the 45 there, missing a boot and a sock, and whether Liz Dempsey will stop the play up further, whether we'll continue. And
Orla McGrath coming on for Eilish O'Reilly as Galway also make changes. Medical attention required for Aisling Thompson in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and look, I wonder how tactical this is. You know, Galway were just starting to get into the game. They were getting to gain a bit of momentum. I mean, now we've had a kind of a long stoppage after that little passage of play. Galway have had the last 4 scores on the board, and look, they look to be getting back into the game, and the momentum halted a little bit now with that stoppage in play.
Maeve Cahalane is warming up along the sideline. Galway keeps showing that character in this All-Ireland final, even when Cork went into a 5-6 point lead. And where goes Aoife Donoghue? From in front of the Hogan stands. What a score. It's her 3rd point in the All-Ireland final. This is clearly her best.
And what a time to get it at. You know, a huge response to Galway. As I said, Cork had looked like they kicked on just after half-time, and Galway looked like they were going to start to suffer, but they've responded in spades, and they're really asking questions now of Cork.
Cork haven't scored since the 40th minute, almost 10 minutes ago. Galway have shown their character. I keep mentioning it, but it really is an indication of their self-belief within the squad. Away comes Niamh Hannafin, battling, surrounded, still with the sliotar. Sends it along the surface to player inside, who happens to be Niamh Mallon. Cork just exposed at the moment. Challenge is an illegal one on Carrie Dolan. Referee has given the free. Will he allow the advantage? He has, or she has. Great score. Great score.
And another huge turnover from Galway around the middle of the field, you know, forcing Cork into those mistakes. That wayward ball landed out onto Niamh Kilkenny around the middle of the field, and they worked it really, really well again. Supervision to spot Carrie Dolan initially, drew the free, and then Aoife Dunn, who popped up. She's had 2 massive scores for Galway now in this bit of resurgence.
They're level again in this All-Ireland final for the 10th time now. But at one stage, Elaine, I think it was fair to say that Cork seemed to have the momentum at the beginning of the second half. But what a response by Galway. We'll get your thoughts in a moment as Cork go forward here with Amy O'Connor, Dervla Higgins. Galway chasing in 2s and 3s now, trying to dig it out, trying to scoop it up. Cork attack with Saoirse McCarthy, bearing down on goal, stopped in her tracks, gets the hand pass in. Galway looking a little bit under pressure here, to say the least. Standing firm as Ciara Hickey. Down out for is Aisling Thompson, shoving away the challenge. Coming again is McCarthy. The effort to block is failed, but the ball drops in over Sarah Healy. Sarah Healy puts the hurley over the crossbar. They're chasing everything, Galway. Trying to put the ball back into the Cork half of the field. A race for possession. Knocked away. Picked up by Maeve Callahan. Just introduced. Giving it over for us, Laura Hayes. Laura Hayes hits the slither. She knows it's not going to curl in. The ball is wide. It remains Cork 113, Galway 16 points.
Yeah, and 2 misses there for Cork. You know, 1 drop short and that wide from Laura Hayes. Super stuff from Sarah Healy in the goal to watch it. We saw it in the intermediate game, a ball that dropped in over the Cork goalie's head on that goal. So Sarah Healy did really, really well to see it out. And, you know, Cork now being forced to make the changes. We've spoke about their bench, the impact they've had all year. They're going to have their chance now.
Fiona Keating is the player making way for Clodagh Fenn. 8 minutes to go in this All-Ireland final. Changes being made along the sideline. Word getting into the players. The 27,811 people that came to Croke Park on this All-Ireland final day thoroughly enjoying the senior Camogie final. The previous games, junior and intermediate, there was only 1 point between them. It's very similar for this, and it could well go to a replay. But right now, we still have 7 minutes to enjoy. Going back is Laura Tracy. Cork come away with it. Aoife Healy. Laura Hayes in the middle of the pitch. Going long, diagonally. Good work by Saoirse McCarthy. Heading towards goal. Difficult angle, very difficult. But Saoirse McCarthy was equal to the challenge. What a great score. Fantastic score. Tightly marked, under pressure, and still got the shot in. And her reaction said it all.
Yeah, and that's Cork's first score since the 40th minute. You know, they really, really needed that one, and what a score. The calibre of some of the point taking this game has been absolutely out of this world on both sides, and that was an example from Saoirse McCarthy. They're under super pressure from Roisin Blackland to swing over a score like that.
Here comes Niamh Kilkenny, bearing down on goal, charging in, free to Cork. Taking a little bit too much out of it on this occasion, as she ran into a wall of red and white jerseys. As the momentum swung again towards Cork. We had a thrilling hurling final. We're having a thrilling senior Camogie final as well. Nice work by Clodagh Fenn. And that is going between the posts and over the bar. The panel, the bench, is making a difference to Cork.
Yeah, exactly as they did in that semi-final. Both Saoirse McCarthy and Clodagh Fenn looked really, really lively that day when they came on. Both got on the score sheet and both have got on there today. Be interesting now to see if Galway have anything on the bench to try and answer that, because there's tired bodies out there and they need something, a little bit of impetus now just to kick on again.
Cork 115, Galway 16 points. I remember when Clodagh Fenn was introduced to the Cork panel in 2023, she was planning to travel abroad, but she cancelled it because she wanted to play for Cork, and she's now scored an incredible point in this All-Ireland final. Is it enough to win the O'Duffy Cup for the 30th time? There is still time for Galway. Laura Hayes goes long. Picked up again, or almost picked up by Saoirse McCarthy. She's causing problems for Galway since being introduced. And back in comes wide from Clodagh Finn on this occasion. Remains a 2-point game. Great response by Cork. Maeve Callahan is tripped free for the Cork joint captain, and an opportunity to cool matters down as we look at the clock with 56 minutes now being registered. 4 minutes to go.
Yeah,
time will be added on.
Galway have just started to give away a couple of lazy, silly frees in that Cork half-back line. I know it's probably at the risk of slowing them down from there, but Laura Hayes has been taking them quickly. She's been hitting space, and they have fresh legs up there that are able to run into that space.
Laura Hayes going long to Clodagh Finn. Clodagh Finn dropping it in, and Galway get the ball cleared. Going long on this occasion. Maeve Callahan gets a touch. Coming in is Niamh Hannafy. Running onto it is Carrie Dolan. The cross would need to be a little bit better than that. The umpire is going to signal wide.
Yeah, poor wide from Carrie Dolan on that occasion. You know, needed to get that one across. She was heading away from the sideline. Breeze probably against her. She really needed to put that across the goal, but their options are limited over there. Cork had the numbers back again.
Ger Manley, the Cork manager, down the sideline now. Saoirse McCarthy picking up an ankle injury there as she clearly went over, running for the possession. She certainly has made an impact since being introduced.
Yeah, it's been a huge, huge physical battle. You know, and Roisin Black and Dervla Higgins, that full back line, they've been under pressure from the get-go today. And look, I suppose you've done really, really well. You've marked Pamela Mackey for Katrina Mackey, sorry, for 40 minutes, and then Saoirse McCarthy comes in on top of you. You know, it's another huge task for Roisin Black. She's sticking to it really, really well, but Saoirse McCarthy has struck a lovely point since coming on, and Clodagh Finn has brought a little bit of extra freshness to that full forward line as well. And you know, Galway probably need to introduce a couple of fresh legs now, maybe get something else up front just to try and relieve the girls that have been on.
Saoirse McCarthy is now fully equipped, ready to enter the fray again. Carl Murray has had a long conversation with his selectorial team, and they do something in the last minute and a half to rectify the scoreline. Cork introduce Emma Murphy. There that's going off is Saoirse McCarthy. Played a huge part in the Cork performance with 3 brilliant points. Looks like she was going off, but we've been told she's going off, but it doesn't look like she is actually.
I'm not sure she's coming off.
No, there's confusion again along the sideline. Yes. I think she's just getting the message now. Confusion on the Cork sideline.
Yeah, Emma Murphy had gone on, I think, and had gone to the far side of the field, but I think the linesman, does he want to bring it back for the proper substitution? Not sure what's...
I think they were determined to confuse us. We had Liam Cronin wearing the Banished Door bib in the first half, when it should have been Ger Manley. Meanwhile, Emma Murphy is coming off again, I think.
I think she's probably going to have to wait in the next break of play. Saoirse McCarthy's probably going to have to come back off. And
straight from the puck out goal, we have it. Anya Keane laying it off for us. Eve McPeak. Back to Anya Keane again. Over towards Carrie Dolan. Has to go and collect it second time. Is there an opportunity here arising? But the ball is sent to the wrong side of the post again. Off the stick of Niamh Hannafy. It remains a 2-point game, but there are 6 more minutes to be added on.
Yeah, and just a few, I suppose, wrong decisions from Galway, you know, on that occasion. Anya Keane, brilliant burst run, real captain, real leader of the team and driving forward, I suppose, and Carrie Dolan just a little bit misfortunate not to collect it on the first occasion, and Niamh Hanafy's shot just drifting out wide, and they've had a couple of wides, I suppose, at real critical times in the last few minutes there.
Amy Lee going short with the puck out. As far as Laura Tracy. Roisin Black, captain of Galway. Fouled on this occasion. Free for Galway. 2 points between the teams. 6 minutes still to go. Emma Murphy still waiting to be introduced. Good stick work on this occasion, and it had to be. Anne-Marie Scarr bringing it forward. Good work initially by Dervla Higgins. Great defending by Cork. Saoirse McCarthy back there. Coming across is Aoife Donoghue. Gathering it is Niamh Mallon. Looking at the post, confident it's over, but the ball is wide. 3 shots in a row from Galway, and they both failing to find the target.
Yeah, and look, some of your real sharpshooters up there that you'd really be dependent on, you know, Carrie Dolan, Niamh Hanafy, Niamh Mallon on that occasion probably would have been a little bit better off maybe to leave it for Orla McGrath. She was coming out for it, probably in a better position, and could have maybe played the 1-2 with her, but opted for the shot. And look, Galway will rue those missed chances if they don't get over the line here today.
Niamh Nyland is coming on for Galway. The player going off is Niamh Hanafy. Niamh's brother Evan, of course, is part of the Galway senior hurling squad. Emma Murphy now is coming on, and the player that's going off looks to be Orla Cahalane.
Yeah, Niamh Nyland's another one who's had a really good year for Galway, you know, being introduced in a lot of games. I think has scored 111 coming into today's game, and just interesting that they leave it so late before introducing her. I think they could have probably done with a little bit of freshness up front, and she's certainly an exciting talent for that.
Niamh Kilkenny giving it back for Anya Keane. Under pressure. Delivers it up towards Niamh Mallon and company. Mallon is inside wearing 14. But Cork come away with it to Laura Tracy. Great work by Anne-Marie Starr. And the referee is letting it go. Cork are trying their best to come out with it. That's Laura Tracy. Emma Murphy gets her first touch. Slipper glued to the hurling. Past the 45, heading towards the 20. Dropping this in. Gathered by Sarah Healy. Plenty of Galway players available just inside their own 65-metre line. Still 3.5 minutes to go. Niamh Mallon waiting inside as Orla McGrath comes away with it. Hooked on this occasion. Great defending by Cork. Coming forward is Laura Tracy. It's heart-stopping stuff here in Croke. Backfield is the goalkeeper Amy Lee. Delivers it long. Perfectly positioned. There's a fullback, Izzy O'Regan. Under pressure. In comes Anne-Marie Scarr. Galway not giving up, to their eternal credit. Carrie Dolan getting the ball inside. Coming across. Niamh Mallon again. Ball bobbling all over the place. Pamela Mackey. Backfires Laura Tracy. Steps away inside her own D. Gives it over towards a Cork attack that is depending on possession now to retain it over the next 2 minutes or so. And keep it away from the Galway players. Good work inside. On this occasion by Clodagh Finn. Saoirse McCarthy, front of the goalpost, sends this between the posts and over the bar. McCarthy has made a difference, as has Clodagh Finn. The bench, the substitutes, are playing a key role for Cork in this All-Ireland final, and they're back with a 3-point advantage.
Yeah, huge, and credit to Derval Higgins, you know, got out in front there, tried to play from the front to get Galway on the front leg, but Saoirse McCartan did so well to win it back, and probably had half a chance at a goal. But look, at this stage of the game, pop it over, get the point, put the 3 points between it, and look, you'd have to credit Laura Tracy at the back there. A lot is made of her as a spare player. She's defended valiantly for the last few minutes there.
Here's Aoife Donoghue. Galway now know the clock is ticking. They have to try and create a goal here. Niamh Nyland coming through. Can she be the hero? Chased by 3-4 Cork players into the centre. There's an opportunity here coming. There's a pull on there, surely. And Cork come away with it, no free given. Half blocked, out over the sideline ball to Cork.
Yeah, huge moves there again. You know, Cork, as I said, are getting the numbers back. Bodies of red jerseys back there. It's frustrating Galway at every occasion, and they did really well to recycle it there on occasion. Will probably regret that they didn't get a free there. Could possibly have had one for the pull from Saoirse McCarthy there.
Clock is ticking towards the 66th minute of this match, but it's not over yet. Niamh McPeak's effort is half blocked. It's a real battle. It's a wonderful All-Ireland Senior Camogie final. And the referee this time has blown her whistle and given a throw ball, I would imagine, outside the Cork 45-metre line. Galway have to create a goal. There's nothing left. They've given it absolutely everything. Trying to come away with it is Niamh Kilkenny. Good work by Niamh McPeak. Galway have to get something out of this, but the Cork defenders are equal to it. Great work by Laura Hayes. Gets the ball out. And Emma Murphy will take the sticker again to the hurley and run. Going for the score outside the Galway 45-metre line. Out comes Sarah Healy. Sweeping it back down towards Anya Keane. Possession now vital. We're gone past the 66th minute, heading towards the 67th. And Cork are the All-Ireland champions again. Tears of joy. Tears of joy for Aisling Thompson, for Ger Manley. Heartbreak for Galway. They gave it absolutely everything. But the 27,811 here at Croke Park, we'll talk about the 2024 Senior Camogie Final for a long time to come. They'll be celebrating in Fermoy, Mallow, Doneraile, Kinsale, Youghal, all over Cork tonight. They have an All-Ireland. Ger Manley and Liam Cronin, part of the management team, will celebrate. 10 times they were level here in this All-Ireland final. But essentially, the touch from Katrina Mackey, the creation of Amy O'Connor, swung the game at the beginning of the second half Cork's way. That goal was crucial. Galway had so many misses towards the end. 3 or 4 opportunities went to begging.
Yeah, what a massive All-Ireland final we've just had. 2 fantastic teams, the calibre of scores that were taken, the point taking, the athleticism, the tackling that went in. There was girls going down with cramp all over the field by the end of it there, and that just surmised the game that we had. It was up and down the field, and look, I think ultimately that Mackey goal was in the difference at the end, but Saoirse McCartan came on, got her point, Clodagh Finn got her point, Emma Murphy offered something fresh up at that right wing when she came on and carried 2 massive balls down there to get out of defence, and time again Laura Tracy broke up Galway attack as they went in search of that goal that they desperately needed. You know, Galway brought a massive game today. They needed to. They saved their best performance till the final day, but they've come up against a superb Cork team. They put back-to-back titles on the line now, and they look like they're going to steamroll again for years to come. This is a fantastic Cork team.
Yes, Cork will celebrate tonight and indeed the week ahead. A wonderful result for them, and as I said, heartbreak for Galway. Full-time score, Cork 1 goal and 16 points. Galway 16 points. Let's go down to the sideline to Valerie.
Hannah Looney, congratulations, All-Ireland champions. How does that sound?
Oh, thanks a million, Valerie. Look, it's just unbelievable. Maybe I'll say one thing first. We've been a big fan of Rian O'Neill's interviews when Armagh won, and when he was like, guess what? So guess what? Come on, the Rebels! Look, I'm just absolutely over the moon. You know, we knew Galway were going to put up the challenge, and like I know people were saying it was going to be a bit easier than that, but it never was, and it was one of the hardest games we've played all year, and that was what was expected. But I suppose what we want is to be a generational team, and to win back-to-back is only the start of it. We'll keep going, so I'm bloody delighted. Come on, the Rebels!
To win back-to-back is something special. Getting here once, but having the gut to get back here the following year and to do it again, it's just something else. A credit to you and the team.
It is, and I suppose it's something we've done in Cork before, so it's in the tank in a lot of us girls, and I suppose what hasn't been done is the 3 in a row, and maybe it's a bit too early to start talking about that. We'll enjoy the winter and we'll enjoy the celebrations, but like, God, it's just amazing. It's amazing.
I need to ask you, your last celebrations now, Hannah, right? You got that cup and you got it down the River Lee. I mean, what are you going to do this year?
I don't know, maybe bungee jump off the Shandon Bells or something, I don't know. But look, do you have any connections with Paul and Finton? We must get onto them and see if they'll row me down the Lee, or I'll go down to Skib for a row even. But yeah, we'll be celebrating for the week, we'll be celebrating for the winter. You work hard for this. Special, special moments. Really, really proud.
Enjoy. Get up the steps a little hug.
Thanks a million, Valerie. Thank you.
Cork deserved winners there, and Hannah Looney saying those words nobody wants to hear. 3 in a row, a generational team. They have all of the potential to be just that, because Anna, today and all season, that Cork team have been awesome.
They absolutely have, and when it was put up to them, when it was in the melting pot, it could have gone either way. Cork held their nerve. We've heard that phrase being mentioned in the Olympics about holding, but they held their nerve. They weathered the storm. At times where Galway came back, and in fairness, Galway will rue a lot of those chances. Cork stepped up, players all in every line of the pitch. They fought for every inch, and they fought for each other. And I think that's why this is a wonderful team performance, because you see whether it's Orla Callahan, the corner, starting in our first All-Ireland, Aisling Thompson, that's been there for a good few All-Irelands at this point, all of them did incredibly well, and I think overall deserved to win.
But to be fair, I would like to mention Galway played their part in this final too. Yes, they missed massive chances at the end, and they'll look back with huge regret as well. But Galway played their part. Some of their players were outstanding. Aoife Donoghue, Niamh Kilkenny. They probably didn't have the same impact off the bench as Cork did today, but Cork are deserving winners. Overall, they were the best team this year. I said they were stronger this year than last year, and even seeing Libby Coppinger there hugging her players, she's someone who'll be back again next year as well.
Yeah, they have so many wonderful players, and as you mentioned, the bench, the talent coming through, the underage stars, they're a frightening force, but as Hannah Looney said there, they work so hard for everything and everyone, and they do deserve it to lift the O'Duffy Cup. Let's go back to Marty now, because that moment is now.
The moment indeed that the people of Cork have been waiting for, lifting the O'Duffy Cup here in Croke Park, as the Cork players make their way over to the Hogan stand. Galway players stand as well in the background, heartbroken and disappointed, no doubt, because they really gave it everything. They were magnificent in this game, and I know they'll shed a tear or two, but my word, they won a lot of admirers today as well. A wonderful All-Ireland Senior Camogie final ends with Cork victorious and winning their 30th All-Ireland title and their second in a row.
And in particular, the Naughton family.
Brian Malloy, the president of Camogie Association, speaking to the gathering here now in Croke Park at the moment.
Of our flagship adult competitions.
As the Cork players finally make their way to the steps of the Hogan stand.
Referee Liz Dempsey from Kilkenny and all of her officials for the great job that they did today. I'd like to thank all the supporters who are here today. There are tens of thousands of you here today, hundreds of thousands of you watching on television. We appreciate your support. We need your support.
Thousands of people, as Brian said, watching from around the world.
Thank you for your support.
I know they're watching in Lanzarote with Norman and Niamh, and around the world as well, because wherever Cork and Galway people gather, they were watching this Camogie final, and we wish you well.
Of strong-willed, independent women. Our first Uachtaráin, Maura Nichaneda, and her peers loved our game. They loved our culture, and they saw the need to protect the integrity of Camogie.
Even in the middle of it all, you have to make a telephone call or take a selfie
for our game.
For posterity.
20 years
Good man,
earlier, the GAA hadn't provided for Camogie, so in 1904, Camogie provided for Camogie. Since then, our game has developed. Our players are top-level athletes who will never get boxed in. We have more members, more clubs, and more games than ever. We have a positive relationship with the GAA and are on the path to integration with them. We will integrate our organisation, we will integrate our operations, but we will retain our game. We will retain our ethos. We are Camogie and we will remain Camogie. UNESCO have recognised the importance of Camogie to the Irish culture. Camogie is our national game. We need to ensure that every girl in every school, in every town and village in the country is given the access to our game as a matter of course, not a matter of chance. Which brings me to today's game. A fantastic competition between two brilliant sides. We had 3 brilliant games today and there was nothing between any of the 6 teams on show. Ultimately, there was only ever one winner. Galway, you were so close, but today was not your day. Today is Cork's day. And as such, it gives me great pleasure as the first male Uachtaráin to present my first Duffy to the captain of this year's Glendimplex Senior Champions, Cork, Malage.
So the cup is going to the county of Cork. O'Duffy Cup is heading to Leeside. Cork, 2 in a row. Cork, 30th All-Ireland Championship title. And they will celebrate it in style, no doubt. Here's Maeve Cahalane.
Thanking the 31 fantastic players that are standing in front of me. Girls, you are the most humble and hard-working group that I've ever come across, and you've soldiered so hard during the year. So I'm so proud of each and every one of you today. A special mention to 2 members of our panel, Libby Coppinger and Veronica Allan, who unfortunately were missing out on today due to long-term injury. Girls, you're as much part of today as any of the rest of us, and no doubt the people you are, you'll overcome this setback and be back with us in no time. We are so lucky to have such an unbelievable backroom team. First of all, I'd like to say thanks to our medical team, Ronan Mills and Louise O'Connell. You've been fantastic all year. To our staffmen, Diarmid and Lenny, our S&C coaches, Dave O'Connell and Wesley O'Brien, our logistics men, Mikey and Paul, and our kit man, Kieran McCarthy, who there's no job too small or too big for this man. To our performance coach, Michelle O'Connor, you have been a game changer for this group. The amount of work you put in with each and every one of us behind the scenes is incredible. We always leave with a smile on our faces. To our hurling coach, Liam Cronin, what can I say about this man? You make our job as players so easy. The countless hours you put into analysis, tactics and training is incredible. I've never come across the likes of it. So thanks for your hard work all year. To our selectors, Brendan and Fiona O'Driscoll, you came on board at the start of the year and you have been brilliant, so thanks a million for everything. To Jennifer Megan, the woman who does absolutely everything. The work you have put in the last 2 years behind the scenes for this group is second to none. We are never left wanting for anything. As Ger Manley said to us on Friday night, this would not be possible without Jennifer Megan, and he was spot on. I suppose there is one man who has to put it all together, and that is our manager, Ger Manley. Ger, you had one goal on your mind coming in at the start of this year. It wasn't going to be an easy one to try and win back-to-back All-Irelands. You took on the challenge, and what a job you have done. I cannot speak highly enough of you, and I hope you enjoy today as much as the rest of us. To our sponsors, Kiri's, thank you for your ongoing support. We appreciate everything you do for us. It doesn't go unnoticed. To Queen Bee Athletics, who are always so good to us, starting us with the best of gear. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. To our own county board, Marion, Mairead, Mary, Sheila and Tracy, thank you so much for helping us year in, year out with whatever we need. A special mention to Marion McCarthy, our player liaison officer. The amount of work that you put into this group is incredible, and we just wanted to say a special word of thanks to you. To our family and friends, ye are the ones who make this possible. You have to face us on the good days and the not so good days. We are all so lucky to have you backing us from the first league game of the year to today. You are the ones making it possible to live our dreams. To our clubs, thank you so much for the support throughout the years, and especially the support you have shown us in the last number of weeks. We hope we gave you the representation you deserve today. To Liz Dempsey and the officials, well done on doing such a great job today. We appreciate it. It's never easy, so well done. To Galway, hard luck to you today, girls. I know this is never an easy place to be. You have been fantastic ambassadors for the game of Camogie over the last decade. I've no doubt the character that's in your dressing room, you'll be back here again next year, and we'll be meeting you along the way. Finally, to the Cork supporters. It means the world to have you here today showing your support. We hope we did you proud, and we look forward to seeing you back in the South Mall tomorrow with the O'Duffy Cup.
Well, Anne-Marie, Cork have done the double 2 years in a row with the All-Ireland champions. Galway put up a super fight, but it really was Cork's day today.
Yeah, it was. Their 5th All-Ireland in 10 years, back-to-back titles. It's unbelievable, really. They have been the team of the championship, but I suppose people thought coming into today that Cork were going to beat Galway 12 points I heard during the week. Galway absolutely gave it everything. I think they can be so proud of how they turned up and played today. Like, that game was right into the melting pot. We had 3-4 chances there towards the end. You know, Galway could have actually won that game if they took their chances. I think Cork, though, their experience, the impact off the bench, their game management, like Aisling Thompson, Sorcha McCartan, they had the boot off there anytime Galway, like sitting on the ground, you know, the boots off when Galway got a run on them. And that's all part of it as well, so it is. Cork, though, definitely the team of the championship, but Galway can be so proud of their display today. They absolutely died with their boots on, and just huge performances. Aoife Donoghue, Niamh Kilkenny, you know, I thought they were absolutely brilliant and unbelievable ambassadors for Camogie and Galway.
Yeah, they really played a brilliant game, and one thing about this team, Anna, is that they had big players all over the pitch, so if somebody wasn't having a good day, they had somebody else to step up and take the game to Galway.
They did, but I mean, you would have to say, looking at that Cork team, there wasn't too many people that underperformed either. They all knew their job and they stuck to that task. You could see that they'd worked really hard in figuring out a game plan that suited Cork. They weren't trying to counteract Galway's strengths, they were really focusing, and that the bunching and spraying into the space, the low fast ball. We saw Trina Mackey's goal coming very early in the second half because of that low fast ball, and they did what they did best, and that's just running fast at teams and attacking. But like Anne-Marie said, both teams superb ambassadors for the game of Camogie. I mean, Camogie won today as well, because 16 points in an All-Ireland final is no mean feat, and you know, it was an incredible game to watch as well. I'm just obviously extra delighted that the red and white are the ones that are walking the steps of the Hogan stand.
Yeah, for sure. It really was a great game. It was end to end. We didn't know who was going to win right up until the end, and that's exactly what you want from an All-Ireland final. But it was Cork who reclaimed the O'Duffy Cup for the 30th time. There's so much to talk about. Join us after the short break for full analysis on how the 2024 All-Ireland Senior Championship final was won.
Glendimplix Camogie All-Ireland Championships, where energy meets inspiration.
5-day mattress sale with savings of up to 45% on the biggest brands like Sealy Posturepedic, Sleep Easy, Silent Night and King Coil. Get our Iris Double Bundle. That's a headboard, a mattress and base for just $9.99. Plus get free delivery, free removal and free recycling of your old mattress. And with up to 36 months interest free and 0% APR. Why wait? The Harvey Norman 5-day mattress sale must end Monday. Don't miss out.
And how was the drive?
Grand.
Well, Granny, first we had to go and get the party balloons.
Party balloons, love.
Yeah, balloons. So we went in Daddy's car and we went into a big hole of water.
It was a pothole.
Then the man from Geneva came to the rescue.
Aviva. The man from Aviva.
For car insurance with breakdown rescue, it takes Aviva.
We're back with more shoppers going full Lidl. Oh, what night is it again? I don't remember.
It's Friday. It's pizza night.
Oh, you little pizza genius.
It is. What pizza would you like?
All of it?
Okay, let's get all of it.
Oh, I can't believe that actually worked.
Get lots of pizza.
Mad, because I was thinking hot pepperoni. Ooh, look at that cheese. Oh, look at all those sides. Oh, I wish every night could be pizza night.
It's too big.
Go on. Go full Lidl. Shop without compromise and pay less.
Very good. Very reasonable.
I keep my home fresh with Febreze Revolution plug-in. And I use this. Febreze has smart programming to digitally control how much scent is released, so you never stop noticing freshness for up to 90 days.
Oh, does mine have smart programming?
Oh. Febreze also has a refill reminder light.
It even reminds you to refill it?
So I never miss a day of freshness.
Wow, it's so fresh.
Upgrade to Febreze Revolution.
Baby skin is just so incredible. It's so delicate. There's nothing softer. That's why I make sure her clothes feel super soft with the Fairy Non-Bio Dream Team. Fairy Pods for a gentle clean and Fairy Softener for extra softness. So even when my arms aren't around her, she's always wrapped in softness. Fairy Non-Bio Pods and Fairy Softener. The Dream Team for sensitive skin. Always close a pack with a click. And keep out of reach of children. That's very soft.
This season on Sky Sports and Sports Extra, watch every live Premier League game, exclusive European matches, and much, much more. Get more football than ever before with Sky Sports, TNT Sports, and Premier Sports for just €27 a month. Go to sky.ie/sports.
Hey. Hey, I just wanted to ask.
Yes! Oh, hang on.
Look, if this is a bad time.
No, 2 seconds.
Vodafone Gigabit Fibre broadband with smart Wi-Fi included. Smart, reliable, and adapts to your needs.
I'm here.
Oh, no worries. Want to go for a walk?
A walk?
Now just €30 a month.
The Glendimplix Camogie All-Ireland Championships, where energy meets inspiration.
Now, Cork have won the All-Ireland Camogie title after a wonderful game and a wonderful season for the Rebels, unbeaten all championship, and they answered all the questions thrown at them today. A super final, and they are well-deserved winners. Let's hear now, though, from the winning manager, Ger Manley, speaking to Valerie.
Ger, how's the heart after that?
Oh my God. Look, we've been out the wrong side of these a couple of years I've been involved. It's their fourth final. They're such a good team, our lads. They never gave up. But I mean, Galway gave us a huge battle. We knew that coming down here today. We're the best two teams for the last couple of years, and I think that sums it up today. What a game. I'm just glad we came out the right side of it.
In the third quarter, I think you've been 6 points up at one stage, but Galway did come back at you.
Yeah, they're a good team. Like, they have some savage players there on the forward line, and I thought in the last 7 or 8 minutes we took over and it was work rate. Got a couple of great scores there. Saoirse McCartan, Claudia Finn got a score. And at the end of the day, look, we won.
It's not just the 15 anymore, Ger. You know, people come off that bench and they make a massive impact too.
Yeah, well, sure, look, the physical training that goes in with the girls team now, and I've been involved in that, is so high. The intensity is 5 nights a week with us and probably 2 more on their own. And you can see the level of fitness there today. You saw they all gave it all, and Galway and Cork. But look, we're just delighted. Look, we felt we lost a few there to Galway down through the years, but we definitely have them now.
What's it mean to yourself to win with this group?
Delighted. Look, I was with Matthew last year. Delighted Matthew Toomey came in. And look, it's great. Look, I have a brilliant coach, Liam Cronin. He's the kiddie that makes it happen. The girls respond to him, and I think we have a nice, happy atmosphere. And look, everybody's for the same cause for Cork, you know what I mean? So that's the main thing.
I mean, everyone's delighted to. Did you tell me you're on FaceTime to your daughter in Australia?
Yeah, I'm just on FaceTime to her here at the moment. He tells us in Melbourne, and I'm just delighted. You know, it's so good that we have her. Like, I mean, she's away, and my mum is in home in Macroom, so I hope she's watching as well.
Look, congratulations. Enjoy the celebration.
Thanks very much, Pat. Thank you. Cheers.
A lovely interview with Jared there, really, really nice. And for him to be getting his managerial career off to a winning start, it's not a bad place to be. But Anna, when you think about where they were at half-time and what they were able to produce straight after the break, how important was that third quarter blitz?
Yeah, it was half-time. Galway going in a point up, 10 points to 9. I suppose really it was about what Cork would do. They came out and after half-time scored 1-4 without reply in the first 5 minutes. Exactly what you want a team to do. It took Galway to register their first score. It took them 11 minutes. Long ball in from Pamela Mackey into Orla Callan, and a great score. That's her second score of the game. But it was a long direct ball, what we've been talking about at half-time. Again, Orla Callan into Katrina Mackey. She tries to get around the Galway defender. Instead of taking a pot shot, looks for Aisling Thompson, who moved up in the second half to support the forward. She'd been playing much more defensively in the first half, but she got in a wealth of ball. Again, a cross-field ball here. Orla Callan was involved in so much of Cork's scores. Like, if you look back there, you saw Fiona Keating to Saoirse McCarthy on the run. A great long-range strike over the bar. And, like, really, when you're looking at that, and of course we had Katrina Mackey's goal, that was putting pressure instantly then in Galway. They would have gone in quite happy at half-time to be a point up. As Anne-Marie said, everybody probably had written them off. And yet then 1-4 without reply from Cork.
And Anne-Marie, in a way, we thought that Galway were dead and buried after that, but they